Candace Lipischak in Otterburn, Manitoba, and I was born on Treaty 1 territory in Winnipeg. Basically same Ital. We grew up in the same Ital region, and if you want to go further than that, my heritage is French, Métis, and Polish. Right, so I live in Otterburn, Manitoba, which is south of Winnipeg, and we are right along the Rat River. So for me, you know, nature is always abundant, and we've got 31 acres here to look after and look around. So yeah, I'm really inspired by nature and everything I see around me. My dad was a wood carver ever since I was a kid. Like, I have a few wood carvings in here of his that he made. And my mom was always into either drawing or cross-stitching or sewing. So yeah, they were both really, really good at their craft or whatever they wanted to do. This is my full-time job. So I also have a website called Fat Dog. It's FATDAUG, and it's short for father-daughter. My dad taught me how to carve in 2015, and we just decided to start this company together. So I've been running Fat Dog myself, and I'm also a visual artist. So with everything that culminated together, as well as workshops, I also offer Métis workshops and other art workshops. So yeah, it keeps me busy. Yeah, so my dad taught me the side of antler carving. He started with a set of moose antlers that he had kept for over 40 years that he had harvested this moose a long time ago, and he just decided to make me a pair of feather earrings, and a lot of people commented on them, like they wanted to know what they were made out of, and I asked him if he could show me how. So he's the one that pretty much mentored me in my carving. And when it comes to visual art, I never took any kind of training, so for me it was just something that I needed to do for myself, and it just developed from there. My motivation. So I live with a disability. I have multiple sclerosis, and I've had it for over 24 years, and it's not a 9-to-5 kind of disease. So a 9-to-5 job wasn't the best for me, and I actually quit my job for the French Department of Education. Like, I quit the pension. I didn't have benefits, anything like that. So I really just started for my physical and also my mental health. So, you know, if you believe in something, and if you're really passionate about something, you can actually make a living out of it if you try hard enough. I think it has. I don't know about expressing it, because it's sometimes like it's a disease that a lot of people don't see, right? So if my hands are hurting that day, or if I'm not well, or if I'm fatigued, like, you might not see that. It's maybe not as evident. But yeah, I mean, I'm always reminded every day that I wake up when I come to the studio to work that I have a special career, that allows me to do the things that I love regardless of my disability. Right, so we did need a lot of tools to get started. My dad already had a scroll saw that I was using, and his bandsaw to be able to cut some things, and since then I've purchased a new scroll saw, so I've got 2 of those now. I've got a belt sander and a mini belt sander, and I think now, and there's a lot of bits and stuff like that we use, so it's quite a bit of work when it comes to the sanding. And what else had you asked? Sorry.
Where do you get the tools?
Oh yeah, where do I get the tools? So I can basically get my supplies online and locally, but when it comes to the antler itself, we get a lot of donations. So my great uncle, who's Métis, who passed, he has sons and he has grandsons, and I was gifted those. And even strangers, when I see them at a market or something like that, and I'll tell them, you can drop some off if you want, and my folks will end up getting a box of antlers from a stranger we don't know. So it's kind of nice that people are so willing to donate, and usually we'll make a piece for them from it, so a pendant, and then we'll do a trade, so it's never they never go away empty-handed. So I belong to the Manitoba Craft Council. I'm a member of the Arts Accessibility Network Manitoba. I craft every day. I use my craft every day. If I'm not carving antler, I'm doing some beadwork. If I'm not beading, I'm researching different patterns or projects, or it's part of my daily life. I love it.
Obviously.
It all depends how big it is in terms of being able to complete it. If I do a pair of feather earrings, it could take anywhere between 2 to 5 hours. Depends how small they are, depends how big they are. And oftentimes it's not necessarily the bigger ones that'll take the longest times, it's the smaller ones, because they're so tiny and the details are, you have to be really careful with the tools as well to not cut yourself, obviously. So yeah, they can range anywhere between an hour to a few days, depending on the complexity of it.